What's up, lovely people? How are we doing today? How is your family and your business? And how is life in general? I hope you are all safe and sound and healthy. Okay, today's tutorial, due to popular demand, we are going to be making an igbo blouse, or madam blouse as popularly called. Okay, there's been a lot of requests coming up for me to make this video, and today I want to oblige that request. So I have here 1.5 yards of this satin fabric, and then for my this sample fabric I also have 1.5 yards of it, and that's what we're going to be using for today's tutorial. I will not fail to appreciate you guys for finding out time to visit my channel. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing my videos. I really do appreciate all of that. And if you are viewing without subscribing, please make sure to subscribe before going away, and also tapping on the notification bell so that whenever I upload, you will get informed about it. Okay, so now we go to the business of the day. I'll be making my cotton, I'll be making my markings and whatever with this satin fabric. Okay, so we go straight to the front part. It's going to be a bustier, but the dart is going to start from the shoulder. It's not a princess bustier. Okay, it's going to be a straight bustier. All right, so I folded my fabric just into two. I'm making the front part first, and then the next thing will be to measure out the length of my blouse. 25 inches. I'll be adding 1.5 inches extra for seam allowance, so in all I'm measuring 26.5 inches. Okay, the next will be to take my shoulder to bust point measurement, which is 12 inches. I'll add 1/2 inch extra, so this is 12.5. After this is to take my under bust measurement, which is 16 inches. That's 3.5 below my shoulder to bust. Okay, with this done, you will now take the upper part, that's your, call it like your chest line. Okay, now if I am to check now, what I used as my under bust is 3.5 inches, so I will take it up also. Okay, and then my waist is 16.5, but I'll be measuring 17 inches. I added 1/2 inch. Okay, after that is the length of my blouse, 25 inches. I'll still add the 1/2 inch. Don't forget we're taking it here. Okay, so now what is left will now be the fold allowance. So I'll just turn this into a very clear straight line. So now, having made it into a straight line, I will now take my bust point to bust point measurement. Mine is 8. Okay, since my fabric is on fold, I'm going to be dividing it into 2, so it will give me 4. And to that 4, I will add my sewing allowance. If your sewing allowance is 1/4 inch, you add 1/4 inch. If it is 1/2 inch, you add 1/2 inch. Okay, starting from this top. Okay, I'm going to be placing my bust point to bust point measurement, starting from this spot to this one, to my shoulder to bust, and then I'll stop at my under bust. Okay, Sorry, I was taking 3.5, 4.5. Okay, please ignore these first ones. Okay, so here you have 4.5 inches. That is my bust point to bust point measurement. Okay, so here at my waistline, after the under bust, I'm going to be adding 1/4 inch to the 4.5 inches. Okay, and then at my hemline or the blouse hip, the lower part is called the blouse hip, I will use 5 inches. Okay, the reason I used 5 inches is because normally in blouses you see that at this point, after the waist, e opens up a little, making the blouse to look very cute. Okay, just the same way my hand is going, just a little bit after the waist, it starts to open up a little. Okay, that's why I used this 5 inches and I added this 1/4 inch at my waistline. Okay, so I will now go ahead and connect all of this. All right, I hope you see it. Now with this done, the next thing to do will now be at this under bust, I'll be taking 1 inch on each side. Okay, at this under bust, I'll be taking 1 inch on each side, and then at this shoulder line, this first line, the beginning part, on this side I will take, that is towards the armhole area. Remember, if I'm to place my armhole, it's going to be towards this side. So towards my armhole area, I'm taking 1 inch, and then towards my neck area I'll take 1/2 inch. Okay, so here 1 inch, 1 inch, here 1 inch, 1/2 inch. I hope it's understandable enough. Next will be to now connect this 1 inch to this point. Okay, connect this 1 inch to this point, this 1/2 inch to this point, to your shoulder to bust point, not the upper part, please. Okay, so you are connecting this 1 inch to this point. And in doing that, you try to make sure it is not sharp. The 1/2 inch to this point also. And then to your 1 inch and the under bust. The same thing with this side. You try to make sure that at this point they are not sharp. Okay, then this 1 inch here, you have to connect it to this 5 inches. Okay, all right, so now you see we have that slight opening at the center here. Okay, so I'm now going to cut this one out, place it against this one, and then talk about the measurement. Okay, I hope you see it now. So when this one comes together here now, this place will now open up a little. Okay, now we are going to take our measurement. First, the shoulder. I placed this one on top of this one using like half an inch. Okay, that is my sewing allowance that I added. Don't forget that. So I placed my shoulder measurement, 16 inches divided into 2. Okay, and then my armhole, 9 inches. Okay, and this is 1 inch for shoulder slip. Okay, the next will be to place my bust measurement, and I'll be placing it on my shoulder to bust point. That's the center line, this one. Still carefully placing my fabric using half an inch. I'll place my bust measurement, 44 divided into 4, 11. I'm going to be adding seam allowance of 3 inches. And then for my under bust, I'm going to be using my waist at the same time. I hope you get that. So we want to assume that the under bust, my under bust and my waist is the same thing. Okay, still placing it using the 5 inches. Sorry, the half an inch. Hope you understand. My waist is 40 divided into 4 is 10. I'm adding 3 inches sewing allowance. And then at this lower part where we call the blouse hip, still using that half an inch. My blouse hip is 46. You can discover your own by just measuring it just a little bit above your hip, okay, where the blouse normally sits. You measure it however comfortable you want it to be. Okay, mine is 46 divided into 4 is 11.5. I'll also add 3 inches as well. Okay, now looking at it, it will not make sense now. It really won't make any sense, but we have to connect the lines, bust, waist, and then hip. Okay, but by the time you take this waist in, this place will just shape out on its own. You know it is supposed to appear like this. Okay, but by the time we take this place now, this place will now shape up on its own. Okay, now also if you see blouses, they have curves at the hemline. Okay, but if you want yours to be straight, you can leave it this way. But if you want to have that curve with the spread out at the center, I hope you understand what I mean. You have to remove, for me I'll be removing about 1.5 inches by the side. And then I'll curve it to meet here. Okay, I'll join this 1.5 to this point. Okay, that's something like this. Okay, so we now have something like this. Now at this point, this is my 1 inch for shoulder slope. Still making use of that 1/2 inch, please don't forget that. This is for shoulder slope. So I'm removing my shoulder slope. All right. Now it is comfortable for me to just leave the neck first of all. I hope you understand. Until when I join them, I can now remove the neck. And that's what I'm going to do. I feel safer doing that. So I'm going to leave it this way. By the time I join these ones, I can now remove the neck line. Okay. Now with this, I'm going to cut the back piece also. Now here is it for the back. Okay, this is the back. My zipper allowance is 1.5 inches, and that is what you have here. Okay, I just left every other thing the way it was. I have this unfold, that is for the 2 back panels. All right, so all I need to do is to just follow the shape, but this time around the back is going to be a little bit curvier than the front. Okay, because we are going to be considering this. Remember, this is 2 inches, so at the waistline at the back we are going to be considering this one at the front. You know it is supposed to be this way, and then this place will open up. Okay, so I will carefully cut out the back. There is actually nothing difficult in cutting it out. Okay, so now we have the back, but don't forget this. Okay, you will still take it into consideration, right? But at least you now have a picture of what the back looks like. This is the waist. Let me mark it. Okay, this is my zipper allowance, 1.5 inches. You can actually do the measurement at the back also, but in order to save time, that's how I normally roll. I'll just do it this way to avoid starting the measurement all afresh. So I'll place my waist measurement. 40 plus 3 inches seam allowance. Okay, and then I'll place my shoulder measurement, 8 inches, armhole 8 inches. I hope it's clearer enough now. And then my blouse hip, 46 divided into 4, 11.5. I added 3 inches. Okay, if you like, you can still place your bust measurement. Bust is 44. That's 11 plus 3 inches. Okay, so we'll now connect all of this. You see, this is quite easier. Okay, all right. At this back piece, you can add your neckline so that it will be a guide for the front. For the volume of my neck, I'll use 5 inches for the back, and then the neck width I'll use 4.5. Okay. So now we are done with the cutting. This is the back, the other one is the front. So I'm going to use this to now cut this. Okay. In doing this, it eliminates waste. I don't have to waste this one because I already have what I want. This is just like a pattern. Okay. So I'll go ahead and then place this one on top of place my fabric on top of this, or place this one on top of the fabric, and then cut out all of these ones. Right. Okay, now as you can see, I've cut them out. This is the back and this is the front. These are the 3 front pieces and the 2 back pieces. I also cut out the linings. I used my interlining. I hope you see it. I've glued my very soft interlining against the lining just to give it some weight. Same thing goes for the back. And then for the satin that I earlier cut, I also cut out wooden for it. So now I'll go to the machine first of all. Stitch this lace fabric against the satin, just this way. Okay, I'll stitch it, all of them. I hope you get it. I will do that first. When I'm done, I will now join the 3 front pieces together to leave us with 1 piece of front. I hope you understand. It's after the joining that I will now cut the neckline. I hope you get that. So when I do this, when I attach the fabric against the satin, just this way as I've shown you, I'll just sew it round. Okay, I'm doing it on both the front and the back. Okay, when I'm done, I will then join these 3 front pieces. Remember there are 3. This is the center, and then you have the 2 sides. I'll join them together to make 1 piece for the front. Okay, and then I'll come back. And then for the back, I will join it and then I will line also. Okay, you know the normal way we line now. Like I always say, my lining for lace fabric is usually 3. Okay, that's why you have the satin, sorry, 2. That's why you have the satin and then you have the lining. Okay, so that no rough edges will be shown. So when I join this one, I will use my lining to line it properly. Okay. Okay, so the joining has been done and this is what we have. You can see the breast cup. I hope you see it. It has come out on its own. Okay, but if you want it curvier than this, you will have to go in by 1.5 inches at that under bust. I hope you get it. I hope you get it. And then towards this armhole area, you go in by 1.5 inch, and then towards the neckline, you go in by 1 inch. Okay, but this is just perfect for me. Okay, and this also is the lining. Okay, for the back also, like I said, I have lined it. This is it. So the next thing I will do now is to mark the neck line. Okay, remember for the back, we use the neck width of 4.5 inches and the volume was 5 inches. So for the front, we are going to be maintaining that neck width of 4.5 inches. And the volume may differ here now. We'll be using 6.5 inches. Okay. This is subject to adjustment. When I cut it and open it, if it's not what I want, I can still make my adjustments. So I checked and it is perfect for me. I think I like it this way. I'll also cut the neckline and the lining, or better still, I'll just keep lining. When I get here, it will take care of itself. Either way, it is still okay. Okay, so I'm going to be starting from this lower part. I'll sew it this way and then open and top stitch before I now sew the two sides and the neckline. Okay, now the lining has been done. I hope you see it. Very neat and cute, if I might add. Okay, so next will be to now join the back piece together with the front at the shoulder. Close up the armhole and then insert the dart at the back. We know how to insert that. For new people, you insert your dart using your bust point to bust point measurement. Mine is 8. I divide it into 2, gives me 4. So for this back, I'll simply fold into 2 and insert my dart. Another method, if you want to go and start measuring, is to remove your zipper allowance. Measure the 4 inches. Okay, you remove your zipper allowance, then place your tape on your zipper allowance. This is what I mean. Assuming this point is my zipper allowance, you place your tape like so. This is 4 inches. So your dart is going to fall on this 4 inches. Okay, and then you decide the length. For blouses like this, the dart can be as long as you want it to be. Okay, you can even start from this neckline if you made provision for it and go down to this point. It can be in between. Okay, depending on how you want to insert your dart. So I've done the joining. I've also inserted darts and zip as well. Okay, so the next thing will be to close them up at the two sides using the body measurement. When I do that, I will then insert the sleeve. Okay, now you see the two sides are equal. So I'll use my body measurement, my bust, my waist, and the blouse hip to close up the two sides. I will then insert the sleeve and then we'll come to the end of the tutorial. I'll try it on. Okay, so this is the end result. I've added the sleeve. I hope you see it. So I'll just go ahead to try it on and show all of us. And after that, I'll just give it a very beautiful press so that the sleeves can relax better. I hope you can see the end result of our tutorial for today. Check out the back side. Is it not looking gorgeous? So I'm going to playfully do wrapper and blouse. Okay. This is how they do it. So off we go to church. This is damn too beautiful. Thank you for watching till the end. To those of you that requested for this video, I hope this has been helpful. And to so many others who still find it helpful, motivate us by giving us that thumbs up. If you are yet to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button and also touch on the notification bell. Because I would also like to drop something. Each time I close my video, I say, try to be nice to someone who has no way of paying you back. It really hit back to me and I understood what it meant.
So I will never stop saying this. Be kind to someone without expecting anything in return. That is where true joy and happiness lies. Till we meet in my next tutorial, take care of yourself, be creative and innovative, try to slay in your own little way. Okay? Bye.